Yes, we can.
Yes. Speak,
Okay,
sir.
perfect.
You have the platform. I will gladly go on mute.
No, I actually want you guys to kind of, lead this. Tell me what you guys want to talk about. I know that there's some, clearly people did not like the Twitter Spaces. We have received that feedback, and we're self-aware about this. So I think there's been a misunderstanding in the messaging. The messaging here was definitely not, hey, if you guys want something, please build community. That's not what we were trying to say. What we're trying to do here is we have a portion of the token supply here, and we're going to build a program, kind of similar to, maybe it's not the best comparison, but kind of similar to like a startup accelerator, where we will be using those funds to fund community members' projects and also mentor them and help them with additional resources that we may have, whether that be marketing, tech, or whatever it may be. But I think that's kind of been missed in the message, because I keep on reading the Discord and people are saying stuff like, we're expecting people to work for free or free labor. Totally the opposite. If anything, we're about to launch a pretty significant size fund, like focused only on funding projects that the community decides, hey, we want to build this. And not only funding them, but we're going to be helping out. We're going to be, helping out with resources that we have internally. And also, like, I think there's been some confusion, or maybe we just did a really poor job, to be honest, with the Twitter Spaces and our communication, because we are also going to lead the charge. We are also going to build stuff. And from listening to some of you guys, yes, there is some things that we cannot always announce. There's some things that you guys are just going to have to wait for. And I understand, right? Leading to this announcement, a lot of people in the room might not be aligned with what we're trying to do, and they're just looking for an announcement of some great news that's going to pump the price and send everything to the moon. Like, that's not what we're doing. I'm happy to continue having a conversation. I'm always happy to jump on here. I think what people don't see on the other end is how dedicated it's. Go ahead.
There's a large disconnect happening right now, because I think where people's when they're asking you guys, to exactly your point, where you're expecting something to be announced that's going to drive this to the moon. They're treating this as if it's like a new, almost like it's a new token, and not like it's an art project. And I think that fundamental misconception of what Pleasr is trying to achieve here is driving a lot of the frustration.
So
Not
repeat what we talked about earlier, and how you feel like if this is a social token, it feels like it was done in a very backwards way, and maybe it could have be done better, and it raised expectations which currently aren't being met. And just speak, man.
I'm gonna start just on the statement, right, that was just given about like how people are misunderstanding, right? So from just a high level perspective, right? Everything you just said was great, right? That's what people want from a representative of PleasrDao. Everything you just said. However, you've gotten nothing to that effect. So, for example, right? There's been like no like press release or announcement, or like even something as simple as just like, hey guys, here's X and Y and Z, what we're doing. Here's what we plan on doing, etc. There's been none of that. It's been radio silence essentially. And the first thing we hear from you guys is the Twitter Spaces. Now, I wasn't there personally, so I'm not really going to comment on what was actually talked about in that Twitter Spaces, and how things may have been like miscommunicated. However, it's just on the outset of that, right? After the Spaces, right? After this entire thing has gone down, as someone who did not participate in the Spaces, I still don't know what happened from a first-person account. Like, just as a simple thing, how come like... Okay, you were there, right?
But I have to tell you that a lot of the... I hate the term FUD. I really do. I hate that internet culture talk. To be quite honest with you, from somebody who sat there and was observing, I left with a very positive feeling. And like I said, I'm seeing both sides of this, and I definitely see both schools of thought and acknowledge both schools of thought. I don't think either party is really in the wrong. But I have to say that the people, to me, that left the Twitter space feeling angry were already angry.
So I'm not going to comment on that. That wasn't my point. My point is, how come there hasn't been a recap of any sort from the team, right? Anything that said like, hey guys, here's what we talked about, here's what we're planning, right? Why hasn't that been done?
Mura,
Something as
I
simple
think
as
we
that.
should start from the beginning, so it gives us a better perspective. Like just like the way we talked, you know.
It's
Just
hard to just like replay that though. That's
yeah.
like the
I know.
order, the things we talked about in the order we talked about them in. I can't easily just like instantly recount that, right? So I'd rather just continue the conversation that we're having right now with Japes, and then potentially him
Yeah,
and anyone at PleasrDao can listen to the recording of what we talked about from Molly.
Here's
I
a
get that, but I
suggestion.
That's fine.
feel it's important, you know.
Guys,
What if
I'm here to listen. I'm here to listen, and I'm here to, by my actions, try to prove to you guys that what we're doing here is serious, and we're, willing to work our asses off to make this happen. However, there is also a lot of people that maybe just don't belong here, right? Like they're just looking
Agreed.
to speculate in the very short term, and I'm okay with those people exiting the community, and I totally am. But I think over time, you guys will, the people that stick around will see that our intentions are genuine. Look, I'm here right now. I'm willing to stay here as long as you guys want to keep on talking about this. So like, let's ask the questions. I'm happy to, I might not have all the answers. We're not perfect. We're not trying to claim that we don't make any mistakes. And look who just joined us, Jameis, who's, also part of PleasrDao, also
Yeah.
cares
So
and also wants to be
To
here.
Homura's point,
Homura,
if I may,
just one second.
Homura,
Homura,
Yeah.
one of the
I
things that you
feel
were talking about previously had to do with the expectation
exactly.
of
That's the
of the,
thing that
the
gave me like a bit more perspective and really
yeah
showed me
there
that
was
there are
expectation,
real
and then there was
concerns.
also some
So
talk
could you?
about there was a question raised like, well, how would you have gone about it, and you talked about
Yeah.
that for a while, and that was very reasonable. So I don't know if that jars your memory or puts you on a path to.
I mean, I can continue that conversation, but it just seems a little awkward to interject
just so
in
you
here.
know, like the two recordings that I made are both a half hour long, so like we
Yeah,
can sit
I
here
know.
and
I
listen to
expected that.
Yeah.
So I
I
guess
know
I'll just
it's kind of awkward to
um
just repeat yourself, but as I said, I feel like it's important really because
yeah.
when I came here, I came with the perspective that Japes had. Like I really felt like, there are a ton of people that just don't belong here, and they're just moon boys. They just want PleasrDao to pay a bunch of influencers to pump the
yeah.
price to the moon,
Agreed.
and but yeah,
So
man.
I'll start there. All right.
Yeah.
However, before I go into that, I really have to stress, right? It doesn't matter whether the token holder's objective is to appreciate price, or whether it's to build a community, or whether just like the art or whatever. You should generally avoid ever saying, "I don't care if people leave." Just as a footnote. Like they might not be a fit for the community or whatever. That's just excluding people for no reason. Now, on to the actual point that they want me to talk about. There was an expectation of like that the PleasrDao in general is going to be the spearhead, right? You guys are going to lead the charge, and the community will be behind you and helping as you go. Now, the messaging that we've gotten since then, since the raise from the actual MISO auction, is that you guys want a flat structure. You guys want that everyone pulls their own weight, and we want everyone to contribute, and that's what we're gonna focus on, right? Which, as an idea, amazing, right? That's what we want. We want decentralization, and we want people to come together for a common goal, right? There's nothing wrong with that in theory. However, in reality, that doesn't work just from a get-go, right? You have to build up to that point. There has to be people who spearhead things, who take control of things, right? Otherwise, things just don't get done. So, as an example, let's say that Paco had posed a question to me, how I would have changed things if I wanted a developer-centric community or a builder-centric community. And what I said was essentially, I would have started out by inviting those builders in before the talk of a sale had ever happened. I would have gotten them all on board, had them help either me or PleasrDao with building out some kind of different projects or primitives that we would think the community want to see on launch or shortly after launch. And then you would have rewarded those contributors with tokens before the sale, right? Now that the sale has actually happened, though, you guys have raised $60 million. Now, a lot of that obviously is earmarked for other things, no matter what, whatever, right? However, they're expecting you to use that money to spearhead certain developments. And so far, they've gotten kind of like dead silence, right? Obviously, you just touched on there's things that we're going to be doing, there's things that we can't talk about, whatever, right? That's cool. However, just from a communication standpoint, what you can talk about, like so far you mentioned that you're planning on holding, some big thing in New York, right? That can't be communicated in a simpler way to people. I mean, just communication in general, right? Like, we want to talk with you, we want to build with you. However, it's hard to do so when so far the kind of community shaping has been like us versus them. Like, you want the community to step up and help you. However, there's no direction there, right? Like, there's no one they can go to and be like, hey, I want to do X. How do I get help with X, right? There's no specific person they can contact and kind of get that help. They've kind of just got to go, hey guys, I want to build X, and who can help me, right? And they're basically screaming into the void of the Discord, where they may or may not get the help they need. But it just, the whole process, if you want to do a flat structure, just doesn't work right now. And I'm getting really off topic.
So,
I hear you.
Well,
Hey,
there's
I'm
no
listening, guys.
engagement.
I'm listening.
I
I hear you.
There's no
differently.
not even a skeleton structure for facilitating anything really. There's no way to engage
Yeah.
except through like putting a text chat in the Discord. So there's no structure for like positing an idea and it being like voted up or down or whatever decided on. None of that exists yet. So like,
Correct.
it
I
might
think
have been a
I
good
think
idea
I think
to
the key
have
word
some of
there
that
is
in
yet,
place
guys.
before the money was that so much money was raised. That's I think what he's trying to say there.
Essentially,
So we definitely can change the past, right? So I'm here to listen. I'm here to spend as much time as I can to listen to you guys and talk to you guys. But I mean, let's focus the energy on what we can do moving forward. And I hear what you guys are saying. I understand the frustration. Like, believe me, like we're not looking to be in here for a day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks. There's a lot of people like, oh, you guys are gonna dump. No, we're legitimately here for years, and we're looking to do the right thing for years. And I understand that sometimes people want more immediate results. People, like I'm listening to y'all, you guys. I'm taking notes to give you guys a little bit more light on our plans, which we talked about on the Twitter Spaces. It's we're not a two-person startup where two people make decisions and we can in a matter of an hour roll out a plan and have everything like ready to go. Like, it's like this is a 60 something person DAO, right? So there's complexities there, and we're trying to roll out a program that's sustainable and that we can actually support, and that a majority of our DAO members will support. And that program is going to be one that's very well structured, and it's going to have an application or a form, and people reviewing the applications before we help you guys draft a proposal. Before then, we have a governance vote between all the dog holders, only the community members, to decide, will this get funded, will this not get funded? And then after that, we intend to provide a lot of support moving forward on what gets built, how we help, I think, like, I understand, right? We could have probably made this announcement a lot more clearer. We could have, I could have put an update or a summary after the call to, kind of, I guess, calm everybody down. But instead, I decided to join you guys, listen. Like, we're here to listen. I mean, some people might not believe it, but I think genuinely we want to do the right thing. We really want to build a community that's focused on people that align with this, and we want to support those people, and we want to support those builders, and we want to have a structure to do so. So we are very interested in having a structure. It's not like we're trying to just do, like. So I mean, I'm here to answer any questions, guys, and I'm honestly, I'll stick around. Like, I want to hear what you guys think. I want to hear how we can improve.
So to Molly's point, I think that what he came up with was a great idea. I think we need a better way of being able to put ideas forward. And once those ideas are put forward, I think we should almost use like an agile approach, like with a Scrum methodology almost, where we could have like a point buy system to figure out which of the ideas based off of the community's point buy system get moved forward to the things that Japes is talking about. And the only other comment I have, which came from somebody else earlier about not being it was Humora who wasn't in the Twitter space earlier. I think you guys should move that to YouTube and do a YouTube live instead, so that way the people who aren't there can replay it at a later date.
That's a really good idea.
Or simply provide recordings.
Yeah, either or. But if it's on YouTube, that also gives the public access too. So if they want to see what you guys are about and the things that we're talking about and figure out if they want to get involved in the project, they can go back and listen to what you guys are talking about.
I agree with that.
That sounds awesome. And guys, to reiterate here, like, I think we're on the same page. Like, we want to launch this program. We want it to work. We want it, like some people are making comments here, like, we're just going to let the community build and, like, not give them any support. Complete opposite. The fact that we haven't released this program yet is because we want it to be well structured, and we want it to be a program that's well thought out and, legitimately supports our community to build stuff that will add value to what we're trying to build here. So that's why we haven't rushed it. And listen, again, I'm happy to stay here as long as you guys want and continue to talk through this. And I'm happy to kind of like make a plan for how we're going to roll this out and how we can start building together. I mean, I get a vibe that in this room is the people that are interested in sticking around and the people that are interested in building. But obviously, I think in the main Discord room, that's not necessarily the vibe, right?
Oh, you have totally lost the main Discord room. That room has gone completely toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, just as an example, I really want to stress on like your phrasing here, right? Like you're dividing the community for no real reason. Like the voice chat, has been great and civil, right? That's just because we're audibly talking with each other, right? So just as a baseline, it's generally going to be more civil. Now with the actual text chat, obviously it's anonymity all the way, right? So people can say whatever they want, like that guy that was just constantly spamming the whatever, like, oh, they took all your ETH, they're gonna leave or whatever, right? Like there's still a part of the, like there's still significant parts of the community in that chat that are essentially being dismissed because they're bringing up concerns. Which
I don't know if anyone's being dismissed in the sense, like, if anything, we're taking the stance, like, listen, I see the same guys you see in there, like, being jokesters and footing, and like we're taking the stance of like we don't want to just ban people. Like, if people want to express themselves, and as long as they're not offending anyone or they're not necessarily crossing any lines, like we're gonna let them ban. Like, I think taking the stance of banning people just is a slippery slope and not kind of the ethos we're trying to build here. So unfortunately, taking that stance has resulted in the chat becoming toxic, particularly when in light of the events.
Apes, if you guys need help getting the messages from the public and vetted through some sort of a system and then being able to brought to Pleaser in an efficient and encapsulated fashion, I'm willing to help out there. I have years and years of PM experience. I work for a big 3 company. I'm willing to help out. It's in my wheelhouse.
I have no
Happy to, man.
experience,
I mean,
but I could also help.
I mean, I think it's going to take a while, but I think you guys are going to believe that we want to build with our community. Some people clearly don't believe this right now, so I'm thrilled to hear that.
The guy just
and
offered you help, like professional help, for
Yeah,
establishing engagement with the community.
Japes,
We're literally
Japes,
asking you to help us.
Japes, if you need me to be vetted, Andrew Lloyd is a personal friend of mine. Have a chat with him about who I am and what I'm capable of. Get back to me if you're interested.
No, we're definitely interested, guys. Like, I'm here because I'm interested and I want to build
So
with this
follow up
community.
on that, and then that'll be enough.
DM me, and we'll take it to another call, and we'll figure out how to get you situated.
Absolutely, would love to help out.
I think
Perfect.
that
Then we'll love your help. We'll love your help.
Issue too, in just that, like the community actually, I think, does want the PleasrDao to take some kind of leadership role in terms of establishing these processes. It shouldn't, and I think that's where this comes from, or this idea of like free labor and you want us to do everything. I think that's where that's coming from, is this maybe an expectation that because you guys are such large shareholders in this project, that maybe you would take the reins to get it off the ground. And I think
that's where the confusion is.
happening. Maybe it is, but we don't see it happening.
And I think that's fair feedback, and like legitimately, like I'm listening and I'm here, but I think that the confusion or like the miscommunication here is that we are going to play that role. We are going to play that role. The messaging in the Twitter Spaces was not, "Hey guys, like if you want something built, just go build." The messaging is, "Be patient. We're going to release a program. That program is going to be very well structured, and that program is going to be led by us to fund community members and projects that they want to build."
You'll
And
have
that's a lot.
5,000
That's
people
really
coming at
different,
you
right? Then say
with
again.
ideas. You'll have 5,000 people coming at you with ideas, and you'll need a way. You'll need a point buy system. You'll need some form of a mechanism to be able to forgive my
Totally
verbiage,
agree.
but weed out the weaker ideas
Totally agree
and
with
really
you.
bring forward the shiners.
100% agree. I think to give you guys a little bit of background, I worked at an accelerator for a few years. It was called 500 Startups, and literally all we did was receive applications from startups that wanted to apply, and we gave them money, and we gave them mentoring, and we gave them our time to build great things. So we are, and within the DAO, there's like a whole array of expertise. So what we're trying to do here is not just kind of like, like throw out money to like silly ideas. Like we are legitimately trying to build something serious, and also within the DAO and the team members that we have working on this project, we also want to build stuff, and we do want to take the lead. And I apologize to you guys if you guys feel like the communication has been subpar or we haven't done a good job communicating this.
Hey, thank you. That helps a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, like when the first time you were done talking, that's exactly what we want to hear. Literally, this is what you just said. Like, like there's been no communication. That's primarily been where a lot of the pain points are coming from.
And then in the Spaces, I didn't hear any of what you just said. So I was.
Yeah, me neither. But I wasn't there. So.
I didn't hear any of what you just said, and if I had, I would have walked away from it feeling quite different.
Okay, so I think that's on us then. That's on us, and for that I apologize. And clearly, I think listening to you guys, there's a lot of feedback here, and part of that is maybe us having to communicate better, kind of this idea that we're planning on launching, so people are not totally going mad and making accusations of that are kind of like super far from what our actual idea is, right?
Hey, Japes.
Yeah, talk to me.
Hey, this is Mackie. I had a couple of questions. Why is there such a huge push for the community to build stuff?
First off, thank you for kind of having a serious question. To be completely honest with you, the reason why I haven't really been addressing your questions in the main chat is because you have not, you haven't been super pleasant in your tone. But right now, the way you're asking,
But
thank
it's
you.
really mostly because
I
of your
appreciate that.
condescending comments that you make. You think that we're all just a bunch of moon boys who want the price to go up, when really we wanted a community to build upon. Right? You made a comment that we were all upset that we didn't get a tier 1 exchange listing when nobody even brought that up. That's pretty condescending to the community.
So, like I said,
apologize for that.
Apes, you're the way you've been like kind of dividing people in the chat. This is what I'm talking about. Like people with like actual concerns are getting swept away under the rug of, oh, they're all just fucking moon boys, right? Like you can't be generalizing like that in this type of community.
Okay, that's fair.
So I'll go back to my original question: is why is there such a huge push for the community to build this stuff when really, this is a hobby for me, right? I just want to join something. I really like the Doge, meme NFTs. I just want to join something, right? I don't come here to say, oh, I have this great idea, because if I had a great idea, I'd launch it myself and keep everybody else out of it and build my own community. So I don't know why there's such a huge push for us to be doing all this work.
So, I mean, to answer you, right? I don't think it's so black or white. I don't think it's one or the other. We want to do both. We are going to lead the charge with some things. We are going to build stuff, but also we believe that a good way to give more of the token supply back to the community was by helping builders within the community build other stuff. So it's not like we're choosing one exclusively, right? Like I think we're choosing both paths. Now, I mean, I'm actually getting feedback from some other people that they're actually stoked about this program, and they do want to build stuff on it, and that they're stoked that they're going to have an opportunity to basically, you know, get dog tokens to build stuff that they love building anyways. But I mean, again, I don't think it's black or white. I don't think it's one or the
Yeah,
other. I think
I
we're trying
don't
to do
doubt.
both.
I don't doubt that there's people coming forward and saying, "Hey, here I have this great idea." But I mean, you guys keep throwing out this word community, but there is no community. You guys have done nothing to build a community. I mean, can I get just what your opinion of what you guys have done to build this community?
Well, I mean, I think for one, we had the foresight to buy this meme, and then also we decided to, you know, and we also kind of part of the mission of PleasrDao is that we want some of these pieces to live within a community of people that also are passionate and believe in it. And I mean, also in fairness, we're talking about like day 5, day 6 here, right? So I mean, I think the process of building a community is not overnight, and it certainly doesn't take a week, right? Like this is going to take months. So I'm not making any claims of like, hey, we've built a great community. No, like this is just starting.
Okay, but you guys launched this and then have zero product of a community, right? I mean, you know, we all invested our hard-earned money into this, and for a week now we've sat on nothing, right? We don't even get tweets from PleasrDao about anything.
I mean,
and you guys keep
I
saying
could
that there's
comment on
such
the
a
back end of that, just that like if there was an actual like engagement structure in place that was more than just a Discord room where people's genuine concerns get lost in the chatter. Like if there was an actual like application or something that we could engage with to submit ideas and get feedback and like be literally in touch with the PleasrDao and see sort of a map or a roadmap or some kind of path forward, like that would have been wise to have out of the gate. I think is what people are saying.
Yeah, definitely through a community.
It all comes down to communication.
And it needs to be, to Molly's point, it needs to be through a community-based point-buy system for what ideas get promoted to Pleaser.
Okay. I mean, I'm listening, guys. Like, I'm not here to play a defensive role and say everything we've done is right. I'm here to listen and learn and see how we can, you know, learn from what we've done and turn this into what we envision.
Yo, pleaser people, is there someone here? Hello.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're hearing.
So how long was this? How long was the roadmap building up to this? This auction. How long was the roadmap building up to this auction?
What do you mean specifically?
Like how long did you guys plan out to have the auction? Like how many weeks out? How many months out were you planning? Okay, we're gonna sell this. We're gonna fractionalize it. Excuse me.
Well,
it's a very simple question. It's just at what point do you decide we're gonna go auction this off? Well, when did you announce it? When did you guys start talking about it?
So I think we've been in plans. I mean, I think from creation or from the onset of what we're trying to do, we always knew we were going to do this, and we were going to do this to pieces. And in this case, it's been, I don't know, I would say over a month.
Over a month, okay. And then what was your strategy to build up the community since launch? Since I mean, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but obviously I've been in here just for the past 10 minutes and obviously people have asked about community. But my question is, you know, what was your strategy? Because everybody knows that you can't deny, no matter what, that when you launch something this big, there's a big factor, and that's hype, right? When you have the hype, when you have the volume, there's an ability to capitalize on that. And you guys were in a position to capitalize on that hype and on that volume. But you guys basically, for lack of a better word, went silent. So my question is, how do you guys have this in the works for so long, have one of the biggest NFTs in the market and fractionalize it? And then how do you guys basically have this very vague plan of, you know, community? You know, and I can get into that, but basically how do you have this very vague plan of what you want to do? And then you guys fall back on it's for the community. but then we're kind of left in the dark the following days after the auction. You guys are, for lack of a better word, non-existent in a way. Most of you guys, there's some of the Pleaser people that were in there, but there's no, there was no calls. There's no way to do like a poll for, hey, what do you guys want to do for the community? We felt like we're in the dark, and it's like, it doesn't make sense to us. And it's a very, very valid for a lot of people to be concerned, because not only have a lot of people lost money, and it's like, sure, I lost some money, but it's not the end of the world. Like, it's going to happen, right? But it's more upsetting when we have a project like this that has so much potential and it's been planned for so long, and the reputation behind something like this is so large and has so much potential, but it just seems like it just was not planned out very well. And forgive me if I'm wrong, but if it's about the community, we have had a lack of information, and we still have questions, and it should not be like that, especially if you want to revolve this around the community.
On the
Wow,
back
Cole.
of that, like, I know that we like to think that price doesn't matter, and it's not about money or whatever, but literally all the while the communication went dark, the price was dumping to the depths of hell, and that doesn't help the situation at all. So it can't be ignored that price action completely dumped, and there was no like, hang on guys, we're working on it, or coming down the pipe is XYZ or anything.
Yeah,
So
and don't get me wrong.
Price, like, we shouldn't act like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like, if everyone's fucking lying here, if they're not here to make money, like, it's dope to be in a Doge community, and everybody loves Doge. But at the end of the day, you're putting money in to pull it out with a positive ROI, with a positive investment, right? So you can't deny that. But it's more based on the fact that, like, you guys, and a lot of the reason, and I'm speaking on myself, but I get this vibe from the community that a lot of people are upset because you guys fell back on this this community thing, when in reality there's been zero sense of community at all, and there was no transparency. And obviously, when I'm not saying we got to get on tier 1 exchanges, no one ever said that, right? But you have to be able, when you have a brand, that you guys are consistently adding more announcements, at least on a road, like, I don't want to say a roadmap, but at least things to keep the community involved, especially when you have that much hype. Like, you guys should not be. And I saw, like, I DM'd one of the Pleaser guys. I don't know if this is true, but a lot of them said you guys were taking a break, which, like, I get, you guys grinded to get this thing sold and to get all this going. But it's like, when you guys are not putting the pedal to the metal, when you have the most hype and the most volume going, that's literally when you can capitalize it and scale off that. But now you guys have to work your way back to that same point you were the days following the launch.
Yeah, I mean, listen, guys. Again, I'm here to listen to you guys, and I'm not here taking a position of defending every single decision or every move we've made. I guess my like, I think we're human too, and we also learn. And I'm legitimately here because I want to hear you guys, and I want us to improve. So, I mean, like, I don't want to focus on what was done, what could have been done better. Like, I understand. Like, I'm hearing all of that, and I get it, and I'm here to make sure that the future is better, but I can't change the past. You guys got that?
Okay, but if you don't accept the fact that a lot of momentum was completely squandered, then you might repeat that. And that concerns people like us who are putting our money into this.
I feel like he's acknowledged that, though. I feel like
guys, I'm saying that I'm not taking a defensive stance of saying everything we did was perfect. So, like, I'm here to listen, and if you guys are telling me that you guys feel we did not do a good job of communicating our plans or communicating our roadmap, like, who am I to be on the other side and say, no, you guys are wrong to feel that way? No, I hear you guys. Like, I'm listening. I'm here. I'm willing to stay here more hours if I need to kind of let you guys know that we do care.
Yeah, so
And,
let's
like,
ask the money question. What would you like to be done right now, like in the next days and moving forward?
I'm not totally following your answer. In regards to what exactly?
No, I'm asking.
He means, so from right now, what are you committing to do to make all of these concerns go away?
So I think in that sense, we can do a better job with our communications, without a doubt, right? We can do a better, because I mean, listen, we just had a Twitter Spaces and people didn't really understand what we were talking about, and walked away with the idea that we're asking for free labor or that we're not going to lead the charge here. So clearly we need to improve our communications. That's like crystal clear to me. And I think part of that is, just being better at communicating what we're doing, what's, why things are held up, and giving you guys kind of like a more transparent look into what we're trying to build both internally and what this community fund development and how we're going to launch it out is going to be. Obviously, within this world and behind the scenes, there's things that we can't just roll out and communicate immediately. But listen, believe me, guys, I'm here to listen to you guys, and I understand the messaging here, and I get it. I'm not taking a position of we're perfect and we made no mistakes.
Hey, James, I got another question.
Sure.
Hey, so back to Cole. Something he touched on was, I guess some of you guys were taking a break after this launch, and you put in so much work. And this is going to sound super critical of me to ask, but it's really not how it's intended. It's just I'm genuinely curious about this. Why is it that Path, a one-man team, can launch NFD by himself and not take a break, but you have a whole, how many people are in PleasrDao? 50 people, and you all need breaks after this launch? Well, I mean, what's the difference there?
I mean, to be honest, like I don't know where this narrative of breaks, not breaks. I mean, is this really a constructive question? Like, honestly?
Yeah, it is, because I remember reading it, and you guys said that you weren't in communication, and you were going to be taking a break after all the work you put in.
I don't know where you're getting this information, to be completely honest with you, my friend.
Okay.
No, it did happen.
Like I mean, the team that has been working on Dog has probably worked nonstop for the last X amount of weeks, and I think they're all super talented and passionate individuals that will probably continue to work at that pace for a lot longer, especially with kind of seeing the community kind of reject what we're trying to build like this. So
that's my question. Why does it take a whole group of people weeks to do this whenever Path does it by himself? What's the difference?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say there. I don't want to compare us to Path. Path is a good friend of ours. If anything, maybe I don't know. I don't really have an answer for you, to be honest. And I don't, I'm not taking a stance of we're going to have an answer to everything here.
Well, I mean, I just want to know. I mean, it should be that easy for everybody to launch it, right? It should just take one person with an NFT to go to fractional and divide it up.
Yes. Okay. So if the only thing we were doing was going to take an NFT and fractionalize it and sell X amount of the percentage of supply, yes, I agree. That should only take one person, and it should only take legitimately, I don't know, a few hours or however long it takes to actually do those functions. But I think what you guys are maybe not seeing here, and some of the things that we're not able to just announce in one shot, is that there is a lot of other work that's gone into this. There is a lot of work that's happened behind the scenes. There is a lot of work that that we've put in and that we continue to put in. So I just don't think that's a fair apple to apple comparison, to be honest.
Okay, I mean, but you guys are the ones who keep pushing this whole community thing, but then you keep all these secrets from us and say, "Yep, there's so much coming down the pipeline, and we know nothing about it."
Well, I mean, that's a fair point.
Japes, I have some input, if you don't mind.
Go for it. I'm here, guys.
Yeah, man,
I'm not being forced to be here, by the way.
I know, man. I know. I'll speak on myself. I appreciate you being here because this was 100% needed, and this was the right move to get in here and talk to the community. So props to you for stepping up and coming in here well, taking a lot of hard questions, man. I mean, obviously, like most would agree, at least from a holder's perspective, that you guys fucked up, and that's fine because this project still has a ton of potential. But I think what everyone wants is obviously the more communication. But when we are definitely willing as a community to do what needs to be done to help us grow, right? But there just needs to be, actual substance to these claims that you guys announced. Because the whole reason a lot of people were concerned in the Twitter call is not because you guys talked about community and having the ideas. You guys just said it wrong. You guys you guys need to basically be like, if you were talking about community, right? It'd be more so like, hey guys, we're gonna have, you know, a daily poll on Twitter where we'll take, you know, like the top 4 ideas in the Discord, and whichever idea gets the most votes, that's what we're gonna do to market. Like things like that. Like you guys need to have these things planned out. And it just truly surprises me because of how much money you guys have and, you know, what PleasrDao is. It truly surprises me that, you know, as a holder, I'm coming to you guys and the community has to come to you guys to talk about ideas. And I totally get if you guys have some ideas and you want to take some from the community. But what it felt like was, you know, we want the community to come up with all the ideas and we'll sign the check to get it done. And that's where the frustration is coming from, because it just feels like, you know, obviously we understand if there's things you can't disclose to us because it would maybe manipulate the price or things like that. But it's like, if you guys are talking about certain things in the future that are very vague, it's just, you know, very untrustworthy. And that's how it felt. And it just, with the price already dumping and you guys being gone, basically gone for the last 3 days, that's where the frustration comes from. And like, that's in the past. But I think now you guys really need to put in more time into the community, and not just you, Japes, because I know you're in here, but like other people too. Because I'm telling you, like I do social media, and like community is everything. If you guys invest your time here, like this coin will go crazy. Like the Doge people are fucking insane. Like they'll do anything, but like you need to present it the right way, because how it feels like you can't just be gone for 3 days and then come back and make it feel like the community needs to bring back, you know, the money into this coin that was lost, because people are already frustrated at the start of that call. People are down 20, 30, 40, 100%. And now you're saying, you know, keeping everything vague, we can't announce anything really, but also we want you guys to come up with ideas. So all I'm saying is like, I'm just trying to kind of explain from a holder's perspective, kind of where that frustration came from to kind of clarify that. But I think like the whole community
I hear you, and I appreciate the feedback, to be honest. And talking to you on a voice channel is completely different experience than hearing your thoughts on like the general channel, right? And maybe part of this is we need to jump on these more often too, you know?
I mean,
Dude,
I
I
totally
felt
like
like
was,
you were
was
trolling
a
earlier.
that I felt like that was kind of the biggest mistake of the spaces. Actually, was that it was just you guys sitting in a room talking to each other and not choosing to open it up to the floor, open the floor up to the community to engage with you. Like it was just, you were just broadcasting a conversation you guys were having with each other, and that sets a really a sour tone when people are already frustrated about
Totally fair,
communication.
totally fair. And if the community prefers that future calls happen in here, we can do the future calls in here. Like, listen, we're again like I'm here. If the community prefers future weekly calls to happen in here, or if we prefer to have a cadence where we jump in here more often, I'm like, that's totally cool. I'm happy to do that as well.
It's probably a good idea initially to do it more than once a week, especially given
I
the
agree.
current scenario.
Okay. I think that is fine, and I think also something that could be fun in this environment would be for you guys to kind of talk and meet some of the other team members that are working on this, you know, and hearing from them kind of some of the products they're working on, and also perhaps be an opportunity for us to kind of get your insights, you know, while we build, and not wait till something's out to, you know, hear from you guys. So I'm not here to just kind of like, you know, calm everybody down and then, you know, go back to my life and continue as normal. I'm literally here to learn and listen to you guys and see how we can kind of you know, turn this ship around and get the community excited and make the message heard that what we're trying to do here is genuine.
So I have to acknowledge that you are not in an easy position right now, and I have to say that you are doing a very good job.
I agree,
And
I
doing
appreciate
this,
it.
yes, and doing this was certainly a much needed and necessary step. And also, for the record, since I do see both sides of this, I also want to point out that when Cole talks instead of types, he makes a whole lot more sense.
Yo,
Yeah,
dude,
I
I was
totally
literally,
I
I made this
agree with that.
announcement. Hold up. I made this announcement like once that I was literally fudding the chat because I knew everyone's gonna sell. Like I knew this shit's gonna work, dude. I knew it fucked up, but Pleaser's not gonna let this shit die. So I was just fudding the chat so I could buy the dip. So I just played everyone. So sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate the apology, but this is so much better. Can we just have this Cole moving forward instead of the other one? That would be great.
No, yeah, you can, man. I just had to utilize the FUD in the chat to my best ability, man. It's every dog for himself here. But yeah, dude, like, I also do social media. I don't know if you guys are trying to pursue that, but I've helped other coins doing that. And like, I don't have the biggest crypto influence, to be honest. That's not really my audience, but I have connections to basically anyone that you want as far as celebrities or social media influencers. And if you guys don't want to go that route, totally fine. But if you guys want that connection, just come to me and I could get anything done that you need.
I mean, let me tell you, man, you sound like the nicest guy listening to you talk, right? Like when I'm watching you type, I'm like, oh my god, I just kind of want this guy to like lead this community, and like he doesn't believe in what we're doing, but like having a conversation with you, it's like, hey, I could actually go out with this guy and have a beer.
It's totally a
Bro,
Jekyll and
I'm
Hyde. It's
And there
totally
you
a
have it.
Jekyll and Hyde.
That's why
I
this
was just
kind of
playing the
engagement
chat,
is
bro.
so necessary.
I agree,
So-
and
Yeah,
and
like-
my apologies if it hasn't happened before.
Like I
and
said,
this
you
is
know,
exactly
when you're in
how
voice
community-
chat,
Sorry, but this is exactly how community actually forms through
Exactly.
working through conflicts together. That's how it works.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
it's always going to be more pleasant when you actually are talking with people versus full anonymity in a chat.
Yep.
It's good that we're getting this out now, because it doesn't sound like you guys were planning any kind of like community calls like this, at least not for a while. So it's good that we've got that feedback in, so we can have this more often.
Feedback received, and again, guys, like we're not holders of all the truth, and we don't like everything we do is not perfect, clearly. So if this had to happen for us to realize that these type of gatherings are necessary more often, then so be it, right? I think that I see that as a positive, to be honest.
Japes, I have a quick question that probably other people asking too. So now that we've got everything sorted, everyone said what they need to say. As far as the community thing, I know you guys have talked about, you want the community to come up with ideas, which I'm sure they're totally down to do that as long as there's transparency throughout. But
And structure.
it's like, yeah, absolutely, and structure for sure. But my question is, when you say you want the community to come up with ideas, are we talking about in the NFT space? Are we talking about marketing? Are we talking about, what realm are you referring to? Are you just kind of referring to everything in general,
So, sorry, I kind of missed that. Can you say that last part again?
I was just kind of saying, as far as like the community goes, I know you're listening to ideas and you want to use that fund to help, fund ideas that we have. In what realm are you talking about? Are you talking about like just in the crypto space? Are you talking about marketing, NFT space? Like as far as the dog token goes, like, are you just talking about in general, just ideas that community has?
I mean, I think honestly, like I don't want to like put a ton of constraints around people's creativity, but to give you an example, we had someone approach us about wanting to build something in the metaverse. So that would be an idea that I think would vibe. I mean, but also just to kind of clarify, right? Like our vision here is not we're just going to collect ideas and decide which ones we like. Our vision is more we're going to have some sort of structured system.
Mom, not
that
now.
we're
Mom,
going to have some.
Not now. I'm trying to listen.
That's great. Sorry, I love that. That's crypto right there. That was awesome. I mean, sorry. So to go back, we want to have a structured format where we receive these ideas, and the lens that we're going to be using to analyze these ideas are: do the people that are proposing these ideas have the correct skill sets to execute on this, and is this something that's going to add value to the community? And honestly, we're not trying to be like the judges here of like, yes, let's grant this. Our objective is just to act as like a first filter, and then once we've acted as a first filter, we will help those teams put forth together a proposal. And the idea is that the dog community and the dog holders, not including PleasrDao, will be able to vote and basically will be the ones that will say, hey, this is the idea that will get funded and this is not the idea that will get funded. That's kind of what we're thinking right now. Obviously, I wish I could just have all the details for you guys right now, but we don't have all the details. Like on my back end, I'm trying to push my team and the DAO to roll this out as fast as possible. But obviously, it's not so easy to just roll something out. And there's legal components that we have to check off, and we have to make sure that it's super kosher and blah 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 blah. But I'm happy to kind of talk about how I envision this happening. But it's it's not ready to be like, okay guys, we're rolling on the next 10 minutes and this is how it's going to work. But I have a general idea of how I can see it working, and I have a general idea that we want the community to be the ones that have the final voice in regards to what does get at the grants and what doesn't.
I think this is my personal opinion, other people can speak on it. I think the simplest thing you could do is literally have someone tonight as showing towards your you know, your ability to come back from what's just happened, and showing how much concern you have for or how much you care about everyone's concerns, is after this call you have someone go ahead and like start a new chat, or maybe even an existing one, and you have people continue to put those ideas. I think we have one in here, but maybe put a specific one that talks about, community fund. I don't know if we have one. Forgive me if we do. But for example, you have a community fund, and then you have people start putting ideas in there, right? And maybe once a week, right, the top 4 liked ideas get put on a Twitter poll, and you have an announcement, you have everybody go to the Twitter poll, and you say, whichever one of these things you want to happen, like it, or whatever, or vote it, right? And then obviously that's the general idea of what we want to happen. We can't have the specifics in, a 10 word line on each voting part, but now we work off that idea, and maybe you do another poll saying specifically out of that thing, what do we want to happen? You just kind of go.
That's where the funds would be allocated.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I pitched a community-based point buy system earlier. That's exactly it. So you weed out all the weak ideas, you take the strongest ones, and then you have the community buy-in based with their point allocation of which idea they like the most. Those are the ideas that I then presented to the DAO, and the ones that for them to review in a more serious manner and allocate funds.
Do you think it would be a problem if every week refunds wins?
Say that again.
Do you think it would be a problem if every week the word refunds wins?
Good one, dude.
I'm not sure if that's constructive.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
No comment to that specific comment, guys.
Yeah,
I'm trying to be here to help.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was
I get what you're saying. Like, dude, if you guys are fucking here, you lost money, big fucking deal. Like, everybody lost fucking money, and some people lost more, some lost less. But we're here because we're trying to get back the money that we lost, and we're trying to rebuild this community. So it's like, I get everybody's frustrated, and I'm super frustrated too. But it's not going to help if we're all just assholes in here, and when we're trying to make money back. If you're in this call, you still have money in fucking dog, and you want to make more money back.
Yeah, and I think, and I personally believe that the community-based point buy system is the way to do it, and that's the way you get it. That you have the community use their points to buy in and move those ideas that the community selects for a better review with the DAO.
No, I was making a joke. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean. I don't want to be an asshole.
It's okay.
No, you're good, bro. I didn't know for sure. So
you got to know your audience, though. You got to read the room. And you got to know your audience and read the room.
No, I know. I'm just down bad making jokes. I'll chill.
Yo, we're all down bad.
It makes me feel better sometimes. Yeah, but joking makes me feel better sometimes.
No, I feel you, dude. Yeah. It's all good.
All good. Not all good. Arf.
Yeah.
Wait, so guys, talk to me about what happens. Obviously this is kind of a different format than how we were envisioning it, but obviously happy to hear this and see if we can incorporate some of this. But what happens after the community rises through kind of like some sort of like Reddit voting type system? The good ideas, like what do you guys envision would be the next step there?
I think
go ahead.
You would have a product owner, and this situation, I think it would be you, Japes, because you seem to be the voice of Pleaser to the masses. So the product owner would then take those and have an internal review and prioritize the product backlog and figure out which of those objectives are the most important for Pleaser to really start doing things like you were mentioning earlier, for trying to mentor and assist and assessing skill sets and everything else. But that's essentially it. You need to have once something gets voted in as the top, or you take in the top percentage every week, you have to have a product owner that says, okay, I will now sit down, I'll review all of these ideas, and I'll take them forward to the DAO.
Did Cole say he has ties to celebrities for promo?
Dude, I have ties to everyone. Like, not even to flex. Like, I'm just saying that because I want to bring that to this community if it's needed. Because
I like that.
I'm super bullish on this, dude.
What's your favorite
Well,
celeb?
Cole's cool in voice, man. He's actually a really
Yeah.
nice guy in here.
Yeah,
for
he's a
sure.
Jekyll and Hyde kind of guy for sure.
Dude, I swear I'm not an
Who's your
asshole. I was just I was literally funding the chat to buy at the low, bro. I bought it at 8 cents. I'm fucking on cloud
Dude,
9 right now.
classic Cole.
Dude, I'm
Yo.
sorry. Yo.
Cole, who is your favorite celebrity?
Who is my dude? To be honest, like I'm very to myself. Like I'm just working on myself, doing my own thing. But like I guess I would say Drake, and my buddy's good friends with him. But I've only hung out with them or like once at Wish House in LA. But like my buddy,
You think you make a song about the?
Shit, bro.
That'd be gold.
that would cost a bag, but it depends on how much money we have. If we have enough money, I'm sure. I don't even know, dude, if that's his thing. But all I'm saying is like I have a lot of connections and influencers, and then I have friends who are like pretty tight with celebrities. Like literally, we could contact with Dan Bilzerian, fucking
Wait,
Lil Yachty, fucking Drake, whoever, or influencers.
is Dan Brazilian rapper?
Dan Bilzerian,
No,
he's like
a playboy.
a huge Instagram guy. And like the reason I bring that up is because I've been.
I just googled him. Holy crap!
Yeah, Google him. I've been in other projects and I've offered
Look at
this
these girls.
to them, but it costs a lot of money.
Oh my gosh,
No, yeah, dude, he's nuts.
dude.
Where's the guy that got yelled at by his mom?
I was yelling at her. She was talking. I'm trying to listen to the boys, but I have my own apartment here at the crib, which is not bad. Like it's detached. But Brazil sounds dope.
Yeah, like people like that. I have a friend who like he lives in LA and he basically knows literally everyone, or he knows someone that knows everyone. He just literally that's his job, just making connections and business deals through knowing people. So he has connections of fucking everyone. And I don't know a ton of celebrities, but my best friend does, and he does deals for me all the time through crypto and stuff. And then I also have a ton of like social media influencers I know that are big.
I'm of the opinion that marketing is like a secondary concern, like sort of later down the road. Like
100%, completely agree.
Yeah,
completely agree.
You're gonna want to facilitate, like make it as easy as possible for retail buyers to buy, and as long as it's on Uniswap with high gas, that's not, it's not an ideal situation for the people the type of people that would be drawn in by Drake or Bilzerian or these people. Like, it's that audience is going to struggle with the bottleneck of
Agree, dude.
And ETH gas.
We're going to have to build ourselves to a certain point before, larger swaps or Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, anybody like that is going to take us seriously. They have credentials. You have to be at a certain level.
Understood.
Venmo has crypto now, so people are getting into it.
And then Japes, I have a quick question. So I don't mean to sound like a guy who just wants the price to go up or anything like that, but my question is that what you probably can't even reveal this, but I guess I could ask in a way that you could answer it. What's the possibility of us continue to get listed over these next few weeks on tier 2, tier 3 exchanges?
Think longer.
So here you go, guys. Like from like a regulation legal perspective, we're not ever allowed to talk about, and just like no project's really ever allowed to talk about that. And I know a lot of projects do break that rule, so no project's ever really allowed to talk about that. But like, put it this way, doesn't every project want to do that in their roadmap?
Absolutely.
That's about the best way that you could answer that question legally, I think, Japes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys could like form a working group to do like a committee to reach out to various exchanges to get listed, because maybe you can get listed on some Korean or like Chinese exchanges. I know Index Coup. I'm involved in that. I've done a little bit of that.
So those are conversations that I can't participate in. I mean, you guys understand that, right?
Yes, of course, and you need to be very careful with your words, because if not legally, you could be trying to influence the price of a product that you own and land yourself in a whole heap of trouble, brother.
We all
Exactly.
own it. We all
Yeah,
own
but
it.
SEC
that's how having a working group would help out, because then it's all the
But we
community
all own the
members as a working
product,
group.
right?
I think it's different. I think the SEC would see it differently if you were a member of the DAO.
Okay. I just want to
Probably.
make sure I got scat. My heart beat. I was like, my mom is a lawyer though.
No, dude, we're allowed to ask questions. I mean, it's their.
No,
It's,
that's fine. And you're allowed
know-
to ask questions. I'm trying to answer them as transparently as
no,
possible.
I'm
guys.
just saying, like, as holders, we're allowed to ask those questions. It's up to them if they want to answer them.
Correct.
And if they don't,
And honestly, I'm trying to educate everybody in the room too in regards to why we can't
yeah, no,
answer
that's
these questions.
that's a great answer. That's a great answer.
Darn SEC making everybody's life hard.
At least we're not in the stock market, man. Shit.
You might as well be.
Yeah,
What
bro.
else,
Don't.
guys?
I want to give a shout out to Thomas8. He's near the bottom of the voice chat. He fell asleep and he's been snoring into the mic.
Thomas, classic.
Somebody change his name in Discord. He can be sleepy from now on.
Sleepy
Yeah.
Tom.
I mean, honestly, guys, the vibe in here is
What's up,
great.
buddy?
Like,
We're pumping.
I'm happy to join these type of hangouts, and I'm happy to bring other people from PleasrDao to these type of hangouts because the vibe here has been good. To be honest, you know, it's like I think this is how we build community, and you know, sincerely, thank you to everybody here for kind of forcing this. I think that's a net positive.
This has been great. This has been very constructive. At this time, is there any other points that anybody wants to raise, or have we finally reached a point where everybody has kind of vetted their frustrations and gotten their feedback, and we're probably at a position where we could probably step away? I mean, I don't want to keep Japes here all night.
Quick one. Sorry if this was already mentioned before, but how many guys or girls are actually working full time on this? Like, is there,
I'm
has
working
PleasrDao
full-time.
how many people do you actually
on the
have?
coin?
And how are these guys all being compensated?
Oh, sorry. I work at Panda Express.
I heard a few people talking at the same time, but basically your question is how many people are working on the dog project?
How many people from Pleasr are working on the project, and are these guys being paid?
So it's about 4 people, plus or minus maybe a few that aren't really, you know, like it's kind of more contract, like, you know, contract work that, you know, they completed a job and the job is done. So graphic design work or audio or stuff like that. So you know, I think sometimes people think that because PleasrDao is this huge organization, we have 60 something people working on this, and clearly that's not the case, right? That's not the case. There isn't really a huge amount of people working on this, but it's also not just one person.
Yeah, okay. And these people, what's their incentives to work on this? Is it just they own a stake in PleasrDao, and so I guess indirectly the dog price rising is good for them, or are they being paid with dog tokens, or basically why are they incentivized to make this work?
Okay, good question. We believed early on that anybody that worked on this project needed to be incentivized with the project itself and PleasrDao at the same time, because if we didn't do that, they were only going to potentially think about one or the other. So that's kind of a decision we made early on. And as far as to how we're incentivizing the people that work within the dog project within PleasrDao, it was super important for everybody, clearly, that everybody has vesting. So, you know, everybody in the team is vesting. As of right now, absolutely no one on the team that's worked the last month and a half has been paid a dog token. And yeah, I mean,
That's a good answer.
I guess any on-chain analyst could probably, you know, look into that and figure that out. And I think that also, you know, believe it or not, the people on my team and the people that have been busting their ass on this, they're not trying, they're real believers. They're not trying to get paid and get out. Like, we're like, you know, I mean, this will only be shown over time, but we're here for the long run, guys. It might have been a rough start. I understand. Like, I swear, like, I do hear you guys, and I'm listening to what you guys are saying. So I think, you know, there's an opportunity for us to improve here, and you know, I hope that my willingness to be here and I don't have to stick around here, but my willingness to be here and want to be here, I hope that that's kind of like a small step to show you guys that.
And you did very well
we
in the hot
appreciate
seat.
that.
You did very well in the hot seat. That is not an easy seat to sit in.
Is that Cole?
Yeah, I want to thank both Japes and actually Paco for basically being here for the community and talking it out with us. Before everyone joined the voice call, me and Paco had like a 30-minute conversation amongst ourselves. So
Yeah.
it's really good that that this happened.
Japes, I have
You did it very well.
Yeah, well done, guys. Japes, I have a little input to add before you head out.
Sure.
I think what you should do tonight, and I'm sure a lot of the community will really appreciate this. I
Get
know
a
you
good
put
night's
time
sleep.
to this. Yeah, get a good night's sleep, but also pass on the word. I don't know what time it is there. Obviously, it's only 7 o'clock for me, but I don't think it'd be a bad idea to get on top of these things that we've discussed now, and because this momentum that we're building off of, this good vibe. We don't want to drag this out. Like, we have these ideas that we talked about, especially doing like the group community fund and how we want to allocate that and how we want to decide how we want to do that. I don't think anyone in this group would be opposed to, getting that started tonight or at least by the latest tomorrow morning. So we can continue to build up that.
If you guys don't think I have a sense of urgency, you guys will get to know me, and there's definitely a sense of urgency here. And if not, you can talk to my wife that has literally basically been alone for the last month and a half.
We'll send her
So I agree with
flowers.
you.
When we hit everybody, when we hit
there's a sense
$1,
of urgency there.
everybody's sending flowers to Japes' wife when we hit $1.
Let's do it.
I
Again?
want to do right. I want to do right by you guys. So I'm on board.
I reached out for my assistance. I DM'd you like you asked. If you want to take me up on that, let me know.
I'm gonna go in tomorrow to Panda Express. I bust tables, and the line cooks at my place. Literally, they're downloading MetaMask right now. Like,
Let's go. This is a great turnaround, and I'm super happy because everybody saw this potential, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for everyone here that everybody sees potential in this. And there was definitely some hiccups starting this out, but there's no reason we can't rebound twice as hard from where we came from. And now that we have the community set, I think these calls are going to be crucial. I have with my community that I have with my followers, I have a Discord, and Discord is so OP for bringing people together. So I think we should keep doing the calls for sure. And I think that we should all be very appreciative of Japes willing to be here and taking time to kind of hear us out.
Okay, and guys, I promise on my end that I'm going to be here more often, and I'm open to doing these more often. And honestly, this was better than doing the Twitter Spaces, to be honest. Hearing from you guys, getting the feedback, and if we really do intend to build with the community, like, I don't know if there's any other way forward.
Can somebody change Cole's name to
I wholeheartedly agree with you. That's why I jumped in the voice chat with Paco to begin with.
Thank you, Paco. And
I was in the Twitter Spaces. Like, how do I unmute myself? How do I mute myself? I was trying to tell everybody.
Well, by the way, for transparency, that was my first time operating in Twitter Spaces, so I didn't even know what I was doing as far as allowing anybody else to talk.
I had tables they were not bust, and I was in the back of my work doing it. So you're good.
Wait, is that Cold Plunge talking? Yeah, right?
No, Buck and One Tro.
All right, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Japes.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. And
Later.
The moon.
It's time to ape in, baby. See you guys later.
Bye, guys.